We're gonna go hard hitting with a discussion on body image. I promise you it's not gonna be as scary as this title might make it seem, but what we are doing is we are going to be exploring beauty standards across the eras, across the generations. We are talking about this because at this current stage in your life, it's a really critical time for your self-image. And so it's really important that we all, A, talk about it, B, understand how it plays an impact in society, and C, understand that it should not impact us and should not impact our confidence. You only need to share what you want to share, and you only need to talk about what you want to talk about. Nice. Okay, we have some scores coming in. And quite a few of us are finding that they relate to a lot of these cues, or they have experienced some of these cues. And so for a lot of us, we can see that we're not alone in this kind of abiding to beauty standards.
There are, I guess, some good beauty standards, like, but not always ones rooted in misogyny, but a lot of them are. It's always like nitpicking, women need to look like this or that. Like, no, you're not a bad person if you want to have body hair. You're not a bad person if you're tall. You're not a bad person if you have dark skin, or you're not white.
As I've been in India, I've been exposed to different parts of the culture. And there's this one ad for a cream called White Tone. And it's basically a cream they advertise to make your skin lighter.
I know that in the area of sports, there are a lot of standards to do with the body, but a lot of time they have to do with your weight, and they're not really beauty standards, but I think they can lead to like kind of feeling these beauty standards of like being really thin for the losing weight and stuff.
So I think we're all in consensus that beauty standards are changing through time, and they are something that impacts everyone across different cultures, across different ages, different occupations, even like in sports.
Go to the resources and read Would You Be Considered Beautiful in Ancient Greece? They liked unibrows and the quest for symmetry. I definitely think, like, I can just tell from looking at these things that the Greek really liked sculpted men, like, as in like abs.
Look at it at like one step further, right? Like, men were not only told that they needed to be strong and agile, but they also needed to be very toned and muscular and fit. It's super important to also know that beauty standards didn't only impact women, but also men. We'll start off with ancient Greece.
You can just tell by looking at the, like, just those 3 sculptures that they're mostly men, and then like that they have like very sculpted bodies, as in like they're very muscular in a sense, but also in Greece you were seen as more beautiful if you were like somewhat tan and had like fair skin.
All right, let's move on to the next group, the Renaissance female.
In the Renaissance, it was like very fashionable to pluck your hairline to make your forehead bigger. One thing I learned that was like really, really sad, and I think it was also pretty common, I think, across the like years and eras of beauty standards, was that it was like women's duty to be beautiful or like gorgeous to the man's eye.
Thank you so much for sharing. Let's move on to the next group, the Victorian era.
The first one were deadly fashion trends. Extreme corseting is when you take a normal corset, which is supposed to be like a mix of a bra, body shaping, and something to keep your back straight so you're not like slouching all the time, to like squeeze your waist to impossible, like to be so small where you can like your organs are literally crushing itself. Tapeworm pills were also kind of a trend of fashion so you can eat as much as you want, but being as skinny and pretty and beautiful, with multiple feet long tapeworms inside of these women.
Very interesting. Thank you so much for sharing. Let's see what was happening in the 1950s.
They were very much encouraged to look like dolls almost. Like, if you look at a Barbie doll, they were very much encouraged to look like them, to have very thin waists but have full hips, to have like fair, pale skin, but also have like rosy cheeks.
The 1980s.
So what kind of surprised me was there was kind of like the idea that bigger was better. So like really voluminous hair, like people got perms and use a comb to like tease their hair, and also how colorful like the clothes were.
Thank you guys so much for sharing and for doing your research, and I hope it was able to be insightful as to how these beauty standards and these beauty trends are changing through the years. Beauty standards are not permanent. They are constantly moving. They're constantly changing. What is permanent is you, your confidence, and your body. That will always stay the same. And you do not need to compare it to anything else because it's always changing. It's always changing. And you do not need to match that change, ever. All right. And with that, we can wrap up for the day. Thank you all so much for being here. Thank you for your kindness and your respect to one another. I hope you all have a really nice day. Bye, everyone.